Welcome to the second week of our online learning. My beloved 8th graders, this is your music class. How was your weekend? Hope you've been staying safe. Hope you've done your assignments and your classwork. Please always come online for your classes. And if you don't understand anything, make sure you ask questions so that you can be cleared on that. Now, just like we discussed in our last class about the scheme of work, we said we will be learning 10 topics this time. Last week we treated scales and its type, the diatonic scale, the chromatic scale, and the pentatonic scale. This week we shall be treating primary notes of a major scale. Primary notes of a major scale. At the end of these lessons, you are expected to know the following. Name the degrees of a major scale. Write the primary notes of a major scale. And construct scales and identify the notes. Construct scales, then identify their notes. Let me go through it again. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to know three things. The first one is you should be able to name the degrees of the major scale. You should be able to write the primary notes of a major scale. And you should be able to construct the scale and identify their notes. Okay. So haven't known this now, I would want you to keep it at the back of your mind and use it to evaluate yourself as we go through the lessons. Now, let's talk about notes of a major scale. The notes of a major scale. The notes of a major scale are also known as the degrees of that scale, and they are also called their technical terms. It's just like one thing bearing three names. The notes can be called the degrees and can be called the technical terms. For example, let's use Travis Harp in 8th grade platinum. His name is Travis. Imagine him having three other names. Let's say if you go to Ghana, he's going to be bearing Kofi. You go to Ivory Coast, he's going to be bearing Drogba. You now go to Cameroon, he'll be bearing Eto. So it's the same Travis, but if you look for him in three different places, you are going to find out that he's having different names. It's the same thing as this one. These are the same notes, but it is referred to with other names when it is in different forms. Okay, so we're told that the notes of a major scale are also known as the degrees of the major scale, and they are called their technical terms too. So let's go to the next slide. It's going to help us to understand what we're talking about. Degree names of a major scale. Now take a look at the number one. The degree name is I, Roman figure I. Always keep it at the back of your mind that the degree is usually represented by the Roman numerals, that's the Roman figures. In music, degree is represented with Roman figures. So the first note, the degree name is I, which is which means one. While the solfa name is Do, and the technical term or the technical name is tonic. So Do is the same thing as tonic and it's the same thing as Roman figure 1. It's just that 1, that's the I, is the degree name. When you want to refer to it with its degree name, you call it I. When you want to refer to it as the solfa name, you call it Do. And when you want to refer it with its technical name, you call it tonic. The second note is represented with II, the Roman figure II, which means 2. And the solfa name is Re, while the technical name is supertonic. The third note is represented with III, which means 3. 3. And the solfa name is Mi, while the technical name is mediant. Okay, I hope you're understanding what we're doing. I hope you're understanding. The fourth one is represented with IV, which means 4 in normal numerals, the Roman figure. And the solfa name is Fa, while the technical name is subdominant. The fifth note is the fifth note, the degree name is represented with V, which means 5 in Roman figures. The solfa name is So, you know now, So, and the technical name is dominant. So you can call So dominant. If they ask you why you calling it dominant, you tell them that it is the technical name for So. Hope you understand. Okay. So we move to the sixth one. It is represented with VI, and that's the degree name. So if I ask you what is the degree name of So, you're going to tell me it is V, means 5. Okay, let's continue. The sixth one is VI, as we earlier said, and the solfa name is La, while the technical name is submediant. The seventh note is represented with VII, and in Roman figure it means 7. The seventh note. While the solfa name will be T, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. Then the technical name is called leading note. It's leading you to the next octave. Okay. Finally, the eighth note, it is represented with VIII. I repeat, VIII. 1 V and 3 I's. And Roman figure, it means 8. The solfa name is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. That's the other octave Do, and the technical name is the octave. I hope you understand this now. I hope you understand this. Okay, having said that, let's move to the next slide. And what we have there is The primary notes of a major scale. The primary notes of a major scale. Let's know the primary notes of a major scale. Now, among the 8 notes, that's the same thing as degrees, of the major scale, 3 of them are primary, while others are secondary. Let me repeat it. Among the 8 notes, which is the degree of a major scale, 3 of them are primary, while the others are secondary. So let's run a scale and see now. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Those are the 8 notes. 3 of these 8 notes will be the primary, while others will be secondary. Now, you should know that the primary is not the same as the secondary. The primary is not the same as the secondary. But have it at the back of your mind that the do, the tonic, is the same thing as the octave. Okay, let's repeat it. Among the 8 notes of the major scale, 3 of them are primary, while others are secondary. Now, let's tell you the ones that are primary and the ones that are secondary. The primary notes are the tonic, that's the first degree, the subdominant, that's the 4th degree, and the dominant, which is the 5th degree. Let me repeat it. The primary notes are the tonic, which is the first degree, do, the subdominant, which is the 4th degree, and the dominant, which is the 5th degree. Do, fa, sol, do. Okay, so those are the primary notes. So I want to believe you now know the primary notes of a major chord. Chord 1. So the primary notes of a major scale, we have the tonic, degree 1, the 4th, which is the subdominant, and the dominant. The tonic, the subdominant, and the dominant. The do, the fa, and the so, they are always the primary notes. The first degree, the 4th degree, and the 5th degree. Okay, let's go ahead. Let me show you some examples, some further examples in the next slide. Primary and secondary notes of a major scale. Now the notes on red are the primary notes, while those on blue are the secondary notes. The notes on red are the primary notes, while those on blue are the secondary notes. So I want you to zoom them if you're not seeing it very well while I explain. Take a very good look at the tonic. It's red. Take a very good look at the subdominant, the 4th note. It is red. Take a closer look at the 5th note. It is red. So that means the 1st, the 4th, the 5th are primary notes. They are the primary notes. Now take a look at the 2nd, the supertonic. It is blue. Take a look at the mediant. It is blue. Take a look at the submediant. It is blue. Take a look at the leading note. You see it's blue. Now the octave is not repeated here because the octave is the same thing as the tonic. So you're going to find out that you have 3 primary notes and 4 secondary notes. 3 primary notes and 4 secondary notes. I hope you're answering the questions I asked you to place at the back of your mind when we started. So I want you to follow them gradually and make sure you answer all. as we gradually wind up. Now, this is a continuation of the explanation in the upper slide. The examples below are in different keys. So one thing you're supposed to know is that the key of any music is the tonic. So if they say you should start from F major, you know that you're starting from F and it automatically becomes your tonic. Once you have a first note, it becomes your tonic. So if you take a closer look at that, take a closer look at the picture while I read. The example below are in different keys. First line, the D sharp major. Look at D sharp major in the first line, the left hand side. You're going to find out that it is a chord 1, chord 4, and chord 5. And it's on a D sharp major because it's having two sharps. Now look at the right hand side. It's on a B flat major. It has two flats and is also on the primary chord. Chord 1, chord 4, and chord 5. You know what a chord is, so you can replace it for a note. It's more than one note, that's why I'm referring them to as chords. So you should know that it's on a chord 1 or on the tonic, the fourth, and the fifth. Now go to the second line. The sharp, the second line to the left, the key there is D sharp major because it has two sharps. But check what notes are there. You're going to find out is note 2, which is the supertonic, note 3, which is the mediant, note 6, which is the submediant, and note 7, which is the leading note. Check the right hand side. Let's see. It's also on key B flat because it's having two flats and is also a secondary note. Okay, I want to believe you followed me all the way. So let's have a quick recap of what we just did. I taught you 1, the degree names of the major scales. I taught you the degree names of the major scales. And you know, now I also taught you the primary and secondary notes of the major scales. Finally, I taught you the scale, how to construct a scale and identify the primary and secondary notes. You already know how to do the scale, so you now know the primary and the secondary notes. You know this is the scale. Primary and secondary notes of a major scale. This is the scale. Now you know the primary and the secondary notes of the scale. Okay. So with this, we've come to the end of our classes for today. I would want you to go back and make further research and read. Ensure that you do your class activities and your assignments. Know that we have limited time to mark it. So always try and take up the activities immediately. You know I'm missing you people. So please try and do your assignment. Continue to pray for our country, Nigeria. Don't be giving your parents headache. Be good students. So by the grace of God, we pray that God is going to continue to keep us till we see again. One love. Stay safe.